So, so for me, it made sense, and then I started teaching veterans how to do this kind of thing. Because my house, I bought my house. You look it up. I buy my own house myself. I get paid to buy every house I've ever owned. I would never not buy real estate and not get paid to buy the real estate. So, and for me, the profit comes in as soon as I send an offer in. As soon as I make the buy and we close that deal, that's where profit is realized. It's not realized on the books until we exit. You get to get the gist there. But yeah, I teach the philosophy. If you're a veteran, you're probably a pretty smart guy or gal. You can go get a real estate license and sell yourself the house and go one more step and just get a mortgage license, even better. And you're really dangerous when you start operating a title company, because now you can actually do the escrow side of it too and not have to worry about the extra fees on title. So, but the fees on title aren't that massive. Some of that stuff is government related fees anyway, so you're not going to be able to avoid it. But the commissions, oh man, you can get around that stuff if you have a license. That's what got us
I,
into it.
I can hear Julie's wheels turning in her mind, and she's probably going to contact my wife after this and be like, Matt should go get his real estate license like yesterday because that's always been.
Absolutely. I tell folks, you're a dangerous person if you got a real estate license. You're even more dangerous person if you got a real estate and a mortgage license, because you always need some place to live. And as veterans, we have a small ecosystem. They want to understand how to get around some of these fees and how to not be taken advantage of. And most lenders, not most, but a lot of folks in the mortgage business don't understand VA deals. They understand EARLs because they're pretty straightforward, but they may not understand how to do a VA mortgage. So I teach folks how to put the mortgage package together, how to find the COE, how to find ways to make sure they get qualified, how to count the income for a disability as part of the deal as well. VAs only require a back end DTI fee, a DTI scale or calculator, excuse me. So I think DTI on the back end is like 43% for VA or something to that effect. That's a lot of DTI, man. So you can really make a deal work for a veteran at a higher price point that they're looking for, that they actually can afford, because they have to have ATP, ability to repay. But yeah, that's what I teach, is how to make this work for the veteran, and for the veteran, for him or herself, how to get around the fees. And that's, of course, getting a license and so forth. So
So how long have you had your real estate license now?
I've had my real estate license for about 5 or 6 years, but
Okay.
less than a year here in Texas. I just moved to Texas. So I moved here. I bought my house in October. I got my license in, I think, August or September, because I was not coming to Texas without a license. I was going to sell myself the house, and that's what I did. Sold myself the house. Uh, and so yeah, so for Texas about a year. But it's unfortunate because I really would love to be a broker. I'm not a broker, but I funded another deal with another broker. And so I act as a broker. I'm like a managing partner. So I can get around those fees too. Because once you sell real estate, there's a fee to the broker. So I had to find a way to get around that. And that's a different conversation. That's more of a partnership, capital expense for me. So
So Chad, you are a very busy man, with seven
yeah.
principals and your real estate and everything, and mortgage company. And yes, Matt, you need to reach out to him if you want to get Kane LLC up and running even more. So Matt, he owns what, about 14 doors in Kansas City. So
Hmm.
Okay.
there's more work that he could do with his business. So, but not on top of that, seven principles. You're also a sports agent, and before we got on, you said you do a lot of philanthropic work in the Houston area with the Texans, and I'm assuming with veterans. So, can you just briefly touch on that a little bit and the work that you do for veterans in that aspect?
Yeah, so we have a salute to service like most team have, and I try to be a spirit of influence in that regard. Honestly, I could do a lot more than I am doing. Lately, what I've been doing is working with Houston Premier. I'm sorry, Texans Premier, excuse me. Texas Premier, which is basically a fundraising event, and it actually benefits girls in flag football. So I try to play my small role where I'm at with the veteran military side, which, I'll be honest with you, it's not as robust as it would be in, like, let's say a DC area, let's say a like San Diego area, because there's a more military presence in those regions. Here, there's not much of a military presence, so it's not as robust as what I'm used to. I used to be a commander season ticket holder as well, because living in DC, it's like go Commanders, right? So I lived there for a while. And there's way more of an influx of understanding the military and being a part of that. Even for my air shows that go across the stadium at FedEx Field, it's things like that we lack here in Houston. It's because we don't have a big military presence, and that's just the nature of just geographical location. So what I try to do is at least be a spirit of influence and try to educate the NFL population in Houston of the military and veteran experience. It gets well received. I give some money. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I just give money, to be frank with you. I give some money. I donate, and hopefully it goes to the right family. Hopefully it helps the right person. More so lately, the Texans have been focused from a philanthropic standpoint on girls flag football. So I'm also a flag football coach for the girls team. It's called Lady Texans here. My daughter, she plays running back and receiver. She's really nice. Check her out sometime. But yeah, so that's where my focus has been.